everyone, and welcome back to 80 Passione. I think it was a shame that the round-robin match between Rafael Nadal and the Dominic Thiem was scheduled this afternoon, because it was definitely a prime-time show considering the level produced by both players. It was 2 hours and 25 minutes of pure entertainment, where we saw classy finish by the net, tweeners, lobs, passing shots, everything. But before moving on, don't forget to subscribe to 80 Passione. So let's rewind and go back to the beginning. Rafael Nadal won the coin toss and he decided to start the match serving. In the first 5-6 games of the match, both players were keeping very solid on their serves. They were not conceding any kind of break points, and they were reading beautifully the game. And in particular, both of them were on fire with their forehands. We had to wait the sixth game just to see and to go to the first couple of dues. At that point, on the 7th game, Rafael Nadal managed to keep his serve. He was 15-30 down after two very unlucky nets gave some lucky points to Dominic Thiem. And again, the match was really going on, and both players were producing unbelievable return, unbelievable shots, and it was getting so exciting. To be honest, if you have time tonight, don't watch the highlights, but watch the entire match, wherever available on Amazon Prime or other platforms, because you're not going to get disappointed. So it was obvious after almost 1 hour that both players produce such an intense and incredible performance. The best way to end the opening set was during the tie break. I have to say, to be honest, that only during the tie break the level dropped a little bit. I think we saw more unforced errors from both sides. If you consider in the first 3 points of the tie break, the players who were returning won the point. And then I think that a player like Rafael Nadal, with such an incredible killer instinct, didn't manage to bring home the opening set. He was leading 5-2 and he had 2 serves basically to seal the set, but Dominic Thiem was not giving up and he was hitting the ball like craziness. So at that point, again, Rafa was on 6-5 and he got the first set point, but Dominic Thiem managed to push, Rafa to hit, the ball and to produce basically an unforced error by the net. Again, the Rafa got another set point on 7-6, but this time Dominic Thiem managed to save it on his serve and with an incredible winner. And at that point, for the US Open champion, probably was more on fire. He found the courage, to get closer inside the court and push Rafa, for the 8-7 in his favor to an unforced error with his backhand. And after Dominic produced an incredible forehand across the line to win, the tie break with the score of 9-7. The clock was showing 1 hour and 13 minutes. Myself and all the commentators were, out of the tank, out of fuel, and I don't know, we were all thrilling. We couldn't wait to see the second set. In the second one, it started, the opening game immediately with a break point for Rafa, who couldn't basically convert. After the match was going on more or less in the same way of the first set, and both players were keeping, their serves without any kind of problem. But on the 7th game of the match, Rafa was the first to break with an incredible forehand down the line. So at that point, it could be, you know, the turning point of the match. But because tennis is incredible and for sure is the sport of the devil, Dominic Thiem managed to break back straight away in the following game. So we were 4-all. Dominic Thiem at that point, you know, kept the following game, kept his serve, and he was leading 5-4. And he had 3 consecutive match points. At that point, I don't know how Rafa started producing incredible shots. At one point he was lucky, I have to say, on 30-40, because he was one of his volley was kiss basically the net, and he finished on the other side just in a very lucky way. And also Rafa produced an incredible tweener for securing, you know, with after a backhand down the line the 5-all. Again, we had the impression that at that point, the best way to end this second set was again through a tie break. This time, the tie break was less thrilling than the first one. Rafa was leading 1 love after a forehand winner. But again, both players were getting, you know, probably they were feeling the pressure, they were making more unforced errors. And at that point, Dominic Thiem, or after, you know, 3-all, he won 3 consecutive points. He was leading 6-3. He had again 3 consecutive match points. Rafa managed to save the first with a very good serve that Dominic was not able to return. But the next one, after a very long rally, Rafa hit long a shot with his backhand, and after 2 hours and 25 minutes, Dominic Thiem could raise his hands in the sky and celebrate this win. As well, during his press conference during his interview on court at the end of the match, he said that the first set, the level was super high. Of course, it was a boost of confidence for him to win that opening set. He thinks that more or less all the players who reached these finals arrived mentally and physically in great shape. So he thinks that this tournament is is very open, more than previous years, and also he said every time that, you know, he wins and he beats Rafa, he feels very proud of himself, because he said Rafa is a player who can sustain that level from the beginning until the end. So for Dominic, it's the second time in a row this year that he won against Rafa after his win in the quarterfinals at the Australian Open. After this match, there are a lot of if. If Stefanos Tsitipas tonight beats Andrey Rublev, mathematically Dominic Thiem will qualify for the semi-final. If Dominic Thiem wins this tournament, he will end the year as world number 2. If tomorrow the winner, you know, of Djokovic versus Medvedev, probably 90% will play in the semi-final against the winner of the next match between RAFAEL NADAL and Stefanos Tsitipas. There are a lot of if, but if you stay tuned on 80 Passione, we're going to discover all of these together. At this point, it was an incredible afternoon. Let's hope an incredible evening and an even better Master 2020 in London. That's all for now. Ciao!